So today I want to give a little talk on two practices that I'm using right now that help me more often, not all the time, but more often to sit in this place of recognition, I am alive, and gratitude. Oh my goodness, what a miracle. Because I'm aware, right? Even as I was driving home from the monastery, I'm aware that there are plenty of times when that instruction would feel out of reach, right? There have been plenty of times in my life when if you had said aren't you grateful to be alive? Where I would have said something rude in response. That's okay. That is also true. That is also true. So today I want to talk about two gathas that I've been working with. Gatha, G-A-T-H-A, is a word that means a poem for practice, a poem to help us remember. That's what a gatha is. Understanding is love. Here in Thich Nhat Hanh's hand behind me is a gatha. So the first one I've been working with for quite some time. One is I've been working with for some years, and one is kind of new. But they go together. And I find that both of them help me to stay in this place of recognition and gratitude. And again, very importantly, not all the time, just a little bit more often. That's what we're shooting for. I'm not shooting to be focused on my mindfulness at all times, 24 hours a day. No way, man. Sometimes I want to be tying my shoelaces thoughtlessly. Sometimes I want to be barely paying attention to the road because I'm enjoying the song so much. I don't always want to be in some kind of intense concentration. Just I'm a lifelong yogi at this point. I've been doing yoga for more years than I haven't. But I don't want to stand on one foot all day. That doesn't sound fun. Or sustainable, or necessary, or beneficial. It's deeper than that, right? It's an orientation. I want to stay focused in the direction. I want to be looking with the eye of a yogi. But that's much softer and more sustainable. So here's the first gatha. It's very simple. It's just maximum fun. Right? Maximum fun. Now, let me break down what I mean by this. Right? You know me, I love my words. I love my words. And so, for me, if you were to, as we will now together, to unpack maximum fun, it means a couple of things, right? One, on the face, right, very obviously, it means enjoy it, as much as you can. Wow, what would it be like if you had some chore in your life right now, something you have to do all the time, that every time it came up, the hair on the back of your neck stood up. Butterflies presented in your stomach. A tension produced itself in your body. It could be anything. You might dislike doing dishes. You might dislike folding laundry. You might dislike answering your emails, and on and on. What would it be like if you chose one of those things, and every time you were about to do it and you felt that tension, you looked at the Post-it note, the writing on your hand, the sign you put on the wall that says maximum fun. Maybe you post it by the sink if you dislike doing dishes. What would it be like if you asked yourself the question every night when it was time to walk to the sink? What would it be like to do the dishes in maximum fun practice? What would that be like? It might mean putting on your favorite sweatshirt every time you do the dishes. Right? It might mean putting on headphones and listening to your favorite music every time you do the dishes, and on and on. It's going to be different for all of us. But that's the first element of maximum fun. And hey, nobody's going to do it for you. Like, you have to at some point take responsibility for enjoying all this. Otherwise, right, we can end up in the trap of all of our fun coming to us in passive ways. Right? Fun from drinking, fun from watching screens, fun from even being with other people. We can lose the practice and habit. We can lose the skill of producing joy for ourselves with our own mindfulness. Just the way if I stop doing push-ups, I will lose the ability to do push-ups. It's a perishable skill. And maximum fun is just like that. So that's the first level. Right? That's the first level. But then at a deeper level, right? Because it doesn't say maximum fun sometimes. That's not the gata. Right? It's not occasional maximum fun. Right? When I say maximum fun, I mean maximum fun all the time. All the time. And so what is that? That is a very positive and inviting way of saying Memento Mori. Remember death. Remember death. Because, I was practicing today with a very old friend that I haven't seen in person in some years. And I was very aware. I was like, oh man, like, I don't have any reason to think that's going to happen, but there is the possibility that this is the last time I'm going to see this person alive in person, right? If a few more years go by, I could die. They could die. That's part of this. That is true. Hard to hold. Right? Hard to hold, but true. Tomorrow is not promised me. Next spring, for sure. And so, not knowing how many springs I have left, does it make sense for me to squander one day of this spring? Right? To spend one day this spring not going outside, not appreciating the flowers, not stopping and closing my eyes and closing this laptop and just listening to the birdsong? Because they're so happy and they're so alive right now? No, it doesn't make sense. Right? If I hold Memento Mori, if I remember death, then squandering my life in distraction doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. But, the Stoics were brutal. Like, that's a tough one to hold. And so I like to just call it maximum fun, But that's what I'm reminding myself. Right? Why maximum fun? Why is that not an exaggeration? Why is that not irrational? Why is that not hyperbolic? Because tomorrow is not promised me. And so I might as well have maximum fun right now. I might as well have maximum fun right now. And the last level is, because that could sound, everything I've said could be landing on ears that are hearing it this way. Like, oh, so this is a talk about narcissism. Dave is recommending that I selfishly entertain myself at all times, right? I'm not saying that you are hearing that. But if there were 100 people here, some of them would be. Of that, I'm confident. Of that, I know, in fact, from experience. That I know. I don't have to hypothesize. And so let me be clear, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. Because perhaps counterintuitively, maximum fun does not mean that I stop caring about all the things that I care about. Maximum fun does not mean that I stop serving all of the people and the causes that make my life have meaning. It actually means the opposite. It means the opposite. Right? If all of us right now, right, were dropped by helicopter on some disgustingly polluted beach in the third world, right, And we looked around and we decided, like, okay, here we are. Let's clean this up. Let's pick up all of this trash. Let's sift through this sand. Let's get boats and nets and clear this area for swimming. Let's clean up this space. Do you think we would be more effective at that task if we gritted our teeth and made a calendar with 10 days on it and counted backwards resentfully? Well, if we forced ourselves to do it, if we chided each other when we rested? Or do you think we would be more effective to do it if we started in a circle, arm in arm, and sang some happy songs? If we took a break every 30 minutes to sit down for 5 minutes and breathe and make eye contact with each other and smile? Which way sounds more powerful? Which way sounds more effective? Which way sounds more sustainable? And on, right? The fun way. The fun way. When I have to undertake something difficult, if there's some weight in the world, some transformation I want to put my shoulder into and change, I'm looking around for the other people there that are smiling. And because I want to stand next to them. I'm on that team. That's the team of maximum fun. That team gets it done. That team gets it done. Maximum fun is an empowerment.